Hey guys, it's Joshua Kaysen, and this is my EDF 204 web app presentation over pbisworld.com and Storybots. So the first thing we're going to talk about is me. So my hometown is Lexington, Kentucky. I'm an English teaching major at Eastern Kentucky University, and I plan to teach high school grades 11 and 12. I plan to teach classes such as AP Literature and AP Mythology. I have a knack for these things that are and tend to be outside societal norms. That's one of the main reasons why literature, fiction, and mythology are my favorite things to teach people. So for PBIS World, this is going to be the first thing that you see when you open the website. So as you can see, there are many different characteristics in the chart that are behaviors. So when I show you the website in a minute, I will go more into depth about what it is. But as for now, I'm just going to give you a brief description. So when you click on each behavior, it gives you kind of an idea of how the student's going to act. So for instance, if I were to click on aggressive and bullying, it would tell me, what the student's doing and how I can resolve it. So the main question is, what is it? So this website is used by people who need help with interventions and support. So a teacher that needs to help their student in a way that, they can't think of immediately. They would go to this website and be like, okay, this is what I can do. The main goal for the website is just success for the students. They need to know that we're there for them and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that they get what they need. It is a good resource because it gives examples of ways to cope with certain situations. All of the things that are listed on the page help students with their mental health. It also gives them the option to seek help if it's needed. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the setup of the website. So the website is set up in many categories. So tiers 1 through 3, data tracking, a forum, and general info. So tiers 1 through 3 discuss 3 different kinds of intervention and links to sites that will help with issues you may have as a teacher in the classroom. So data tracking, this is where teachers can go to get documents such as referral forms and behavior charts if needed. And then the forum is where teachers can go to basically get help if needed. So different ways of intervention, and teachers can also post their interventions on there as well. The general info page is where teachers can go to get help with any questions that they may have. So there's a facts portion, and then there's the about portion where you can just go to figure out what exactly it's about. So next we're going to go to the website, and I'm going to show you a little bit about it. Okay, so when we go here, okay, so this is the home page that I showed you before. And then, as you can see, you have the 1, 2, 3 tiers, the data tracking, forum, and info. So, for instance, when I click on hyperactivity, it's going to give me what the student may be doing. So it also gives you the option to does this match the student? And if it doesn't, you can go back and see if another one does. It's basically the same for all of them. So, disrespectful. It's the same here. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is tier 1. So tier 1 is the first kind of intervention. So they have the option of breaks, consequences, praise, reward, and other. So when you click on breaks, you're going to have the different options here. And then, so for example, we could, send a student on an errand. So it's going to tell us it's going to tell us why we should do it. So basically it provides student with time away from the situation. So, the student has time to cool down. And then it's going to show us when should I do it, and then it's going to show, tell you when, and then how. And it's basically set up for all of them that way, except there are a select few that have the option of, other methods to use. See, it's the same, option. There's also the option of resources. Yeah, but it's the same, it goes through the why, when, and how. So for tier 2, we have, it's the same setup, except it's not really labeled. So we have alternatives to suspension, behavior contract, stuff like that. Tier 3, we have the same setup, just like the other two. So if we click on this, it's just a behavior assessment. And this is what pops up: the why, when, how, and resources if you as a teacher need help. So then we have the data tracking. So basically with the data tracking, it's just different ways set by different tiers to basically track a student's behavior. So they have the option of a behavior chart, which is, it's not going to show you, but this one just shows the behavior charts for ages 3 and up. And it gives you the option to download it, and then it gives you the option of superheroes, popular movie, stuff like that. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the forum. Like I said before, it's just, if teachers need help, and then other options. We'll go through and then see the first option is the praise game. So it's just an option for teachers to, look at if they need more information. And then we also have the info portion, where it goes into the about portion, the facts, how to get started, contact, and PBIS World book. And that's pretty much it for the website. So we're going to move back over to this, and we're going to talk about the app. So the app that I was doing is Storybot. So basically this is just a general idea of what it is. As you can see, there's a child's face in there. It just incorporates the child. Okay, so what is it? Okay, so according to iTunes.com, the Storybot's iPad app makes learning fun for kids ages 3 to 8 with 250 additional books. The app is good for children who are starting to learn how to read because it gets them, interested in reading because they're going to see themselves in it. It's also a good way for children to work on their vocabulary skills because they're developing that language. So, how it works. In the app, a child picks a book that they want to read. This is usually based on your reading level and, what they want to read. Next, the child will have the option to select a boy or girl. Once they select that, they will take a picture of themselves. And after the picture is taken, they place it on the face of the character that they want to be. And basically after that, they are a part of the book. They are a part of the story. So is the app safe and useful for the classroom? Yeah, it's very useful for the classroom. The app keeps students involved by placing them into the story. The more that the students feel as if they're a part of the story, the more reading that they're going to do because they're going to enjoy seeing themselves in the whole process. Since this keeps students involved, their reading comprehension will be great, and their vocabulary will become greater with the more they read. This is also good for English language learners because they are starting off from another country where they don't necessarily speak English. So it's a good way for them to build their vocabulary. Some setbacks that I see are it's only for a select group of students, ages 3 to 8, or, ELL students. If they geared it more toward children with autism, it would be very beneficial because then they would see the development of a story and I guess like to read more is what I'm trying to get across. But yeah, that's my EDF 204 web app presentation over PBIS World and Storybots. All right.